In this video, I'm just going to use this question to quickly illustrate how to factorize and then multiply out a term over a bracket. So looking to factorize, we've got two terms here that we're adding together. So what we're looking for is common factors in each term. Well, in terms of the x's, you can clearly see that you've got an x squared and an x term. So as x squared just equals x times x, we can see that we do have, I've split x squared into two factors, both being x, so we can factor out an x. So I'm going to do that first. And if I took an x out of there, because the x squared is x times x, we would still have the 24 and we would still have x. So then when we multiplied, we would end up back at 24x squared. If we take x out of 20x, we're just left with 20, aren't we? Because 20 times x is 20x. So that's a start. We've factored out x. The question gives us a big clue, though, that we're not finished yet. Generally speaking, when these questions, and this is probably a GCSE question, quite often get these marks at the beginning of GCSE papers and a couple of marks for them, one for each factor usually. Well, we found one factor, but when it says completely, it generally indicates there's another one, sometimes says factorise fully. So now we're looking at these numbers here. We've got 24 and 20. And if you think of the factors of 24 and 20, there's quite a few factors, aren't there? But in terms of common factors, well, obviously 2 goes into both, so that's a start. 3 goes into 24, but not into 20. 4 goes into both, doesn't it? We've got 4 6s and 4 5s. 5 clearly doesn't go into 24. 6 doesn't go into 20. 8 goes into 24, but not 20. 10 goes into 20, but not 24. 12 into, and we've gone over halfway now. So 4 is all we can manage. So if we factor 4 out, bear in mind we've still got the x factored out. So as we said before, 24 is 4 times 6. So we're left with 6x here and 24 times 5, so plus 5. So the answer then, 4x, 6x plus 5. If you want to check your answer, you can always multiply out. And remember, when we multiply a term over a bracket, we multiply the term outside the bracket by the first term first. So 4 times 6x, well, that's basically 4 times 6 times x times x. 4 times 6, 24. X times x, x squared. So we get 24x squared, which is what we would expect, isn't it? It's what we started off with before we factorised. Factorising being the opposite of expanding. We then multiply the 4x by the 5. We've got 4 lots of x times 5. So that just gives us 4 times 5 times x, which is 20x, isn't it? So we've checked our answer. It comes back to where we started. So that shows that we've actually factorised it correctly. Also, it's given me the opportunity to go back over how you expand a term over a bracket.